I have Oscar here, nationally ranked gymnast. So what made you go into being a gymnast?
When I was in high school, I was a good football player, but I wasn't great. And then at the end, someone introduced me to, I always wanted to learn how to flip, watching the cheerleaders and everything else. So I said, I want to be able to do that. So I started doing some acrobatics, and then I just caught on to it like crazy. I started going to a private gymnastics school, and then excelling, just moving forward and forward and forward until all of a sudden I went to college.
It's the most beautiful thing.
It was great. It was very fluent and taught you really what you're like, whew, am I graceful, am I not graceful? And I was pretty clunky as a kid. And then gaining so much muscle. And I was like, wow, I'm really growing and getting more defined. And that's when you start going like, oh, wow, okay. You know, like, oh, right. And that helped me so much build up your self-confidence. And gymnastics is a sport of individuality. You work as a team, but yet you're all individuals. So you always have to excel in your 6 events. So that's the key. Unlike, like a football player or hockey, they work together as a team. Here, it's just you and the apparatus. That's it.
So it's like being a model.
Correct.
You're part of a team, you're part of the lineup, but when you walk out on that runway, it's all about you.
Correct. It's all about you.
And you interpret the clothes.
Same thing in front of the camera.
Right. So tell me, how did you go from being a nationally ranked gymnast to training supermodels? How did that?
Well, it happened when I started training. I was working in a gym part-time, and a gentleman, one of the members of the gym said, can I work out with you? And I was like, excuse me? And he was like, can I work out with you? I'm like, for what? And he's like, well, you're in really good shape. I don't know what you do. And then that's when he said, I'll pay you. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, you don't know what a personal trainer is. And I was like,
oh, I love it when you don't know anything.
I didn't know any of that. And that's when it all started. And it was just like, okay, you as a personal trainer, like,
so you didn't go after,
no, I had no idea.
People do.
And then right away, people started saying, the gentleman started losing weight and getting in better shape, and so people started training with me. And then I moved to Manhattan in 2001, actually, and here in Tribeca, and all of a sudden I said, you know what, I want to open my own gym after like 10 years, 12 years of having, it was actually more 13 years of training part-time, and then focusing in school, which I always say is very important education, and then I was a phys ed teacher and a gymnastics coach. Unfortunately, I tore all the ligaments in my right leg completely, and it ended my gymnastics career. And ended up with
I just wanted to stay.
I wanted to stay into the sport, and then I sort of said, let me give back what I learned with kids and stuff like that, young adults. So in 2003, I opened my own gym, Diesel, here in Tribeca. Directly across the street from me lived a bunch of Victoria's Secret models. And then they just wandered into my gym, and from there it just started.
And you tell one girl, she'll tell another girl.
Well, like you said, it's very competitive, where the girls are like, how'd you get in such great shape? They're like, oh, I can't tell you, this and that,
sometimes you don't want to tell.
Correct. But then it started to spread for the girls, and then celebrities started coming up as well, who lived in the neighborhood, like, oh, what gym is that?
So do you go to Europe with any of the girls?
I do with some of them. Some of them I surprise them where they cry, and they're like, oh no, he's there in Paris. Oh my God, we're going to have to jump up Exactly.
Drink and smoke cigarettes.
Some of the girls do enjoy it because it's great, like you said, they enjoy the stretching, that change back. So it's not fashion, it's not the whole thing going, like I can just come in and just relax.
And unwind.
Correct, and that's all it does.
And then talk to somebody who's just so nice and open like you,
so
instead of, hi darling, how you doing?
Yeah, all the phoniness that comes with it. And they know that. And that's the whole thing, like, they learn that from a little bit. Like there's so many trainers now who are like, I'm a supermodel trainer, celebrity trainer, they all have that blah, blah, blah. They try and create that whole buzz about themselves, It's like, okay. But I tell people, research, when you do pick trainers, make sure, one, you get along with them. Two, make sure also that you're achieving your goals. That's the key thing. You can't do, and if you have a trainer who's taking you through machines and all this other stuff, you want to be versatile with them. You want to be able to do various things with them, not the same old boring routine.